All right. So I got asked the other day what I thought the biggest healthcare lies were that are being told over and over again. Probably calories. The idea that your body runs on calories, or you have to be in a calorie deficit to lose fat or lose weight. That is by far the biggest lie that I've seen going around. The thing is, your body runs on chemicals. It's a chemical machine. And just Google what is the chemical composition of a calorie, and it'll tell you there is no chemical composition because the calorie is not a real thing. It is a unit of measure, and it measures increase of heat. It's kind of like acceleration for speed, but it says, okay, so when we're talking about calories in this context, we're talking about kilocalories, not small calories. Kcal is what we use for what is being used for dietary function. So a kcal is 1,000 small calories, or it equates to, the definition will equate to 1 liter of water, the amount of energy required to heat 1 liter of water 1 degrees Celsius. So by that definition, if you were to consume something that raised 1 liter of water 1 degree Celsius and you ate, say, 20 calories, it would kill you, because raising your body temperature 20 degrees Celsius would 100% kill you. The other piece of it is that you have to believe, and this is the thing I think is the most shocking with where everybody kind of is now, even the limited biochemistry knowledge that everybody has, the idea that you have to believe, if you believe in calories, you have to believe that sugar, fiber, and protein all have the exact same effect in the body as far as making you fat, because calories, as far as calories are going, all 3 of those are worth 4 calories. So sugar, which we know the standard function is you eat sugar, blood sugar rises, insulin comes in, pushes those sugars into storage. Sugar turns to glycogen in the muscles, glycogen in the liver, whatever's left over turns to fat. That's the chemical function of sugars. Fiber, by definition, never gets into your body. So when you eat it, it never actually gets absorbed in your body. And so that's how we define fiber. So it obviously can't have any effect on making you fat or in your energy function in your body. It blocks absorption of some things, but that's not what we're talking about. And then protein, as far as at least converting to energy, your body has to convert it into sugar first, and then it would have to make so much that it creates that massive insulin response that fills all your muscles and then turns to fat. And that is physiologically not going to happen, because in order for that sugar to be moved into the muscles to begin with, or the liver to begin with, insulin has to come up. Insulin shuts off the process that turns protein into sugar. So it's never going to end up as fat. So that's the very short piece of the chemistry on it. Your body does not run on calories. In this instance, what we're talking about now, this context, your body runs on a chemical called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. ATP is made in the body from sugar and from fat. So that's how that goes. Now, here's the thing. You go, well, why is this such a big deal? Why would they lie about this? Well, I mean, the weight loss industry is very, very, profitable and that type of thing. So if you don't understand how the body creates fat, if you don't understand the chemical process of how your body gets fueled, then obviously you're going to feed that. But here's the deal. When you understand how the body creates energy and how the body works metabolically, it's real easy to fix things like diabetes and dementia. This whole week, we've been talking about how to fix diabetes and how it applies to dementia. This is the thing, though. If you believe that the body runs on calories, you're never going to get to the end, the position where you can start fixing diabetes or dementia. So that's the big lie. That's the whole thing is, if you don't know how the body works, you can't fix it. So that's probably the biggest lie that was being told, because that affects literally everything. Like we've taken people in and fixed their diet, and they've lost their diabetes, their depression got better, their erectile dysfunction got better, lots and lots of weight came off, giant changes in heart and kidney function, lots of depression issues went away. Like there's all sorts of things that we've done just by changing what the fuel source or how people are eating. Hell, the number one treatment we know of for epilepsy is to change the diet to a keto diet. Like it is way better than any of the anti-epileptic drugs we've got. The fact that we don't immediately put everybody who has epilepsy in a keto diet is, I think, malpractice, or at least tell them. If you're like, hey, if you'll eat like this and eat these this cookie dough and these pies and these cakes and these steaks, and if you'll eat these things, you won't have epilepsy anymore. Same thing with like diabetes and dementia. Like, this will fix it. If we don't at least tell people and give them the option, I think it's malpractice. Probably the next biggest one is that the amount of cholesterol in your blood is somehow tied to heart attacks, strokes, and plaquing. This is absurd, but people are trying to sell statin drugs, and they sell a lot of them. So with this idea, the easiest way to look at it is there's tons of research out, but my favorite research article was done in 2009. You can Google this. I would Google 2009 UCLA medical 75% heart attack. Start with that, see where you go. But the research article showed there's 136,000 people in this study. They were in the hospital because they had a heart attack. These people who've had a heart attack, and they looked at all their blood, all 136,000 people, and over 75% of them did not have any like cholesterol risk factors. All their cholesterol was within the range. But this is, again, 136,000 people who've had a heart attack. Their cholesterol told them that everything was fine, which has two things in it. One, you're not okay if your doctor says your cholesterol is good, so you're fine. So again, you're not okay. And two, if your cholesterol is high or bad, you might be totally fine as well. This is why I always tell people, if you're worried about plaquing, if you're worried about things that cause heart attacks, look for those things. Do a CT angiogram, do an echocardiogram, do those studies. Like, those are part of all of our executive physicals, because we want to know what's going on with the heart. So if you want to know what's going on with the heart, do the right studies. Don't just pull blood and then be like, oh, well, here you go. The reason they pull blood is because that's how you sell statin drugs, not how you protect people from heart attacks. And their goal is to sell drugs. And their goal is to maintain illness. So that's kind of how that one goes. So those are probably the two biggest ones. The next one, the SSRIs don't work. Like, if you look at the placebo studies, they're basically the same as placebos. So, I wouldn't push that one. The way that we deal with that, let's start with depression. They use SSRIs for a number of things. So selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's what an SSRI is. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to artificially increase the amount of serotonin in the brain by shutting down your brain's natural process of pulling that serotonin out of the cleft, out of the gap. Well, the easier way to do that is to fix their gut and then give them tryptophan, because your body naturally makes tryptophan. It goes tryptophan, 5-HTP into serotonin. Then it'll go to melatonin, so it helps sleep too. So if you'll just fix their gut and then allow them to eat protein, their body will make all the serotonin it needs. Again, that doesn't fund pharma, and so they don't tell people about that. Now, cleaning your gut, as we've talked about lots of times, you've got to kill the parasites, kill the yeast, reset the probiotic function, and then feed it. And then I always recommend you do something for psychological piece to keep that stress level dealt with. So again, like with our executive physical programs, like we go in, we kill all that stuff. We do neurofeedback. People actually get to have like the headsets that do neurofeedback for them. And we go through and we reset mental stuff as part of what we do. Exercise, diet, and mental function is the path out. So we give all these diagnostics to find all the problems. And then we're like, now we'll walk you through fixing the problems. So it's a little bit different with how we do ours, but those are some of the biggest lies that we say. Oh, and dementia can't be reversed. Like, I hear this all the time from medical neurologists. Like, well, there's nothing anyone can do to help reverse dementia. You just have to take all these drugs and hope it slows it down until you like decay into nothingness and then finally die a miserable death. And it's like, guys, dementia is like this, is like the secondary form of diabetes. That's why they call it type 3 diabetes. So you fix the diabetic issues, which I know you're not taught to do, but you fix the diabetic issues, which are super easy, and then you rebuild the brain. It's one of those things that, dementia and Alzheimer's can be reversed and it can be helped. But, again, people just aren't being told. Probably the last one is that hormone therapy is dangerous or scary or causes cancer or any of those other things. Hormone therapy, proper hormone therapy, is restoring the levels you were designed to have. You're designed to have a specific amount of testosterone and estrogen. And if you restore those levels to where they're supposed to be, you can be really, really healthy, and you don't have to worry about heart attacks or strokes. In fact, your chances of heart attacks and strokes radically decrease because you have the chemicals your body was designed to have, which is, again, one of those things why, the medical industry has been so against it. It's always funny when you talk about what actually was going on with hormones. You look at testosterone. Testosterone is illegal because George W. Bush decided it should be. That's it. It wasn't a group of doctors. Wasn't, this big 100,000 people had issues with taking testosterone, so we banned it. Nope. No one's ever had issues with it. No one's had, there hasn't been mass issues like there were with opioids or any of the other pharmaceuticals. It was just one of those things that, all of a sudden a politician decided to get rid of, which I think is funny because testosterone helps with depression, anxiety, erectile dysfunction, fat loss, marriage problems, sex drive, orgasm function, bone density. It's your healing hormone. And now it's illegal. So, those are some of the things that we've seen that make this really kind of interesting. The idea now that, like we talked about this the other day, that taking the COVID vaccine off of the mandatory list for pregnant women and children, which should be an obvious thing, RFK is getting sued over. So, this is where our medical system is. It's going to lie to you over and over. And these are just what I came up with off the top of my head in 10 minutes from a question I got from questions@chalmerswellness.com. That's kind of where those are. If you guys are looking to get healthy, get a hold of us. Hit me a DM, send me a deal. Questions@chalmerswellness.com, and we'll get you guys put back together. Or just look at us at pillarsofwellness.com. But this is where a lot of this stuff is, and we wonder why we're all sick and miserable, and we also wonder why pharmaceutical profits are at record highs. Doesn't take a genius to connect those dots. If you guys have any questions, hit us up. Drop it in the DMs. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for your time.